My name is Ethan Carter, and I'm a ghost in the machine, a silent operator in the shadows of the American government. I'm a secret agent, a specialist in the paranormal, a man who walks a tightrope between the ordinary and the extraordinary. My world is a tapestry woven with clandestine operations, hushed whispers, and the chilling secrets that lurk beneath the surface of reality. I operate in a realm where the line between myth and reality blurs, where the impossible becomes commonplace, and where the stakes are always impossibly high. My existence is a paradox. I'm a creature of both darkness and light, a defender of the realm, a guardian of the secrets that keep our world safe. I'm a soldier of the unseen, a warrior in a war that most people don't even know exists. My mission is to protect the innocent from the things that go bump in the night, from the creatures that lurk in the shadows, from the anomalies that threaten to unravel the delicate fabric of our existence. I'm part of a secret organization known as the Veil, tasked with investigating and containing threats that fall outside the realm of conventional understanding. We are the last line of defense, the silent sentinels guarding the boundaries of our world. I've seen things that would make your hair stand on end, encountered entities that defy explanation, and walked through portals that lead to realms beyond human comprehension. I've faced down ancient evils, battled monstrous creatures, and stared into the abyss of cosmic horror. I've lived a life filled with adrenaline and uncertainty, a life that has stretched the boundaries of my sanity and tested the limits of my courage. I've lost friends and colleagues in the line of duty, witnessed horrors that haunt my dreams, and faced the stark reality that some things are best left undisturbed. But I'm a survivor. I've learned to compartmentalize, to push the darkness to the back of my mind, to maintain a facade of normalcy in a life that is anything but. I've developed a steely resolve, a cold determination to fulfill my mission, to protect the innocent, and to uphold the delicate balance that keeps our world safe. I'm a ghost in the machine, a shadow in the darkness, a silent guardian of the realm. One chilly autumn evening, I received a call that would change my life forever. It was a coded message, a cryptic directive from the depths of the Veil, a mission that would push me to the very edge of my sanity and test the limits of my human endurance. The message was simple yet chilling. Project Nightingale. Immediate deployment required. Highest priority. I knew, with a chilling certainty, that this mission was unlike any other. It was a mission that would haunt me for the rest of my life. The mission was in an area that had always been considered dangerous and creepy. They called it the Hollow. It was a place that was known to be filled with dangerous creatures and unusual paranormal activities. It was a place I never wanted to be in, but I had no choice. I packed my gear, my heart pounding in my chest, my mind racing with 1,000 questions. What was Project Nightingale? What kind of threat did it pose? What horrors awaited me in the Hollow? I didn't know, and the uncertainty gnawed at me. It was one of those missions that gave me the creeps, but that is the type of mission that I was tasked with. That is my life, and that is what I do. I boarded a clandestine military jet, the engines roaring to life, and took off into the night sky, leaving behind the familiar world I knew and venturing into the unknown. This was a mission that would change my life. This was a mission that would forever haunt my dreams. The Hollow was a desolate, forgotten corner of the American landscape, a place where time seemed to stand still and where the whispers of the wind carried an undercurrent of dread. It was a place where the boundaries between reality and nightmare blurred, a place where the veil between worlds seemed particularly thin. The landscape was bleak and unforgiving, a desolate expanse of barren hills and twisted trees, haunted by an oppressive silence that seemed to press down on everything and everyone. It was a place that inspired fear and mystery, a place that was shrouded in secrets. The Veil had been monitoring the Hollow for years, observing strange anomalies, unexplained phenomena, and a growing sense of unease that emanated from its depths. There were stories of missing persons, unexplained disappearances, and a growing sense of unease that had spread to the surrounding towns. The local population whispered tales of ancient curses, forgotten rituals, and entities that lurked in the shadows of the forest. They were stories that were meant to be just stories, meant to be legends, but the activity in the hollow confirmed that they were far from that. The Veil had assembled a team of specialists to investigate the hollow, but one by one, they had vanished without a trace, swallowed by the darkness that seemed to cling to the region. It was a place that seemed to have a soul of its own, a malevolent entity that consumed everything that dared to enter its domain. It was a dangerous place, and the Veil was desperate to understand what was happening there before it was too late. My contact at the Veil was a woman named Dr. Evelyn Reed, a brilliant but enigmatic scientist with a deep understanding of the paranormal. She was a pillar of knowledge and support within the Veil, a source of invaluable information, and a constant reminder of the importance of my mission. She was a key part of the project, and her knowledge would be vital to the mission's success. Dr. Reed briefed me on the situation, providing me with the little information that the Veil had managed to gather. "We've observed several anomalies in the hollow," she explained, her voice low and measured. "Distortions in the space-time continuum, unexplained energy readings, and signs of a powerful supernatural entity that we believe is responsible for the disappearances. The creature seems to be drawing energy from the local population. It is consuming the life force of the citizens of the area, and it is growing stronger with each passing day. We believe it is an ancient entity with powers beyond our understanding, and we don't know how to stop it. I was equipped with the latest in technology and weaponry, but I knew that this mission was unlike any other. It was a mission that could end my career and potentially end my life. I was fully aware of the dangers, but I was prepared to face them. I was a soldier of the unseen, and I was ready to fulfill my duty. I arrived at the hollow late at night, the landscape stark and desolate under the pale light of the moon. The air was cold and heavy, carrying an undercurrent of dread that seeped into my bones. I felt a sense of unease, a premonition that something was terribly wrong. The hollow was a place that exuded an aura of despair, a place where hope seemed to wither and die. It was the creepiest place I had ever been in my entire life. I met with a small team of operatives from the Veil, a group of highly trained professionals with expertise in various fields, including military tactics, advanced technology, and paranormal research. They were a diverse group, each with their own unique skills and perspectives, but they were all united by their dedication to the Veil and their unwavering belief in the importance of their mission. They were some of the best agents the Veil had to offer, and they were there to support me and help me achieve the mission's objectives. We established a temporary base of operations in an abandoned farmhouse on the outskirts of the hollow. The farmhouse was cold and damp, the air thick with the scent of decay and neglect. It was far from ideal, but it provided us with a place to regroup, strategize, and prepare for the challenges that lay ahead. The farmhouse was a symbol of our struggle, a place where we would fight to survive. It was also a place where we would start to uncover the horrors that awaited us. We spent the next few days gathering intelligence, exploring the surrounding area, and trying to make sense of the anomalies that plagued the hollow. We encountered strange energy fluctuations, inexplicable disturbances in the space-time continuum, and unsettling occurrences that defied explanation. We saw a black entity flying through the sky. The entity was moving very fast, and it seemed to be heading towards the center of the hollow. It was the type of creature that you only see in movies. We also encountered the residents of the surrounding towns. They were a frightened and suspicious population, their lives upended by the strange events that had been plaguing their communities. They whispered tales of a malevolent entity that had been lurking in the hollow for centuries, a creature that preyed on the living and drained them of their life force. The stories were all eerily similar and filled with a sense of dread. As we ventured deeper into the hollow, the anomalies intensified. The disturbances in the space-time continuum became more frequent and more severe. We started seeing shadows move in the periphery of our vision, hearing whispers on the wind, and experiencing strange sensations that defied explanation. It was as if the fabric of reality was fraying at the edges, as if the boundaries between worlds were dissolving. The hollow was trying to tell us something, and we were starting to understand what that was. We discovered evidence of ancient rituals, cryptic symbols etched into the landscape, and artifacts that hinted at a forgotten civilization with a dark, and sinister history. The entity seemed to be drawing power from the ancient rituals, and it seemed to be feeding on the life force of the local population. The entity was gaining power. We needed to stop it before it was too late. We had to stop the entity, or the hollow would be lost forever. As we delved deeper into our investigation, we uncovered a hidden network of underground tunnels beneath the hollow. These tunnels seemed to be ancient, their walls etched with cryptic symbols and markings that hinted at a civilization far older than any recorded in history. The tunnels exuded an aura of dread, a chilling sense of foreboding that sent shivers down my spine. It felt like we were entering a forbidden realm, a place where the boundaries of reality were dissolving. We also discovered a hidden community living deep within the tunnels, a group of people who had been living in isolation for centuries. They were a secretive and enigmatic people, their culture and beliefs shrouded in mystery. They claimed to be descendants of the ancient civilization that had once thrived in the hollow, a civilization that had possessed a deep understanding of the supernatural and the forces that governed the universe. They also claimed to be immune to the creature's power. They were wary of outsiders, their eyes filled with a mixture of suspicion and fear. They spoke in hushed tones, their language a mixture of ancient dialects and cryptic phrases that were difficult to decipher. They seemed to be aware of the entity's existence and its growing power. They claimed to have been trying to stop the creature for centuries, but their attempts had been futile. They believed that we were destined to fail, but we needed to try. We needed to find a way to stop this creature. My team and I were divided on how to proceed. Some believed that we should try to negotiate with the hidden community, hoping to gain their assistance in stopping the entity. Others believed that the community was a threat, that they might be somehow connected to the entity's power. There were also those who believed that the tunnels were not safe and that we should evacuate the area as soon as possible. The tension was mounting. Meanwhile, Dr. Reed continued to analyze the data we gathered, searching for patterns and clues that could help us understand the entity's origins and its powers. She discovered a connection between the entity and a series of ancient artifacts that were scattered throughout the hollow. These artifacts seemed to be amplifiers of the creature's powers, and she believed that if we could destroy them, we might be able to weaken the entity and eventually defeat it. But she was not sure about it, and she also did not know the location of these artifacts. We needed to find them. Adding to the complexities of the situation was a growing sense of paranoia and distrust within our team. We were under immense pressure, operating in a hostile environment, and facing a threat that was beyond our comprehension. We were also facing the pressure of time, as the entity was growing stronger with each passing day. The tension was palpable, and it was a constant threat to our ability to function as a cohesive unit. We needed to find a way to work together if we wanted to survive. The clock was ticking, the entity was growing stronger, and we were running out of time. As we delved deeper into our investigation, we uncovered a hidden network of underground tunnels beneath the hollow. These tunnels seemed to be ancient, their walls etched with cryptic symbols and markings that hinted at a civilization far older than any recorded in history. The tunnels exuded an aura of dread, a chilling sense of foreboding that sent shivers down my spine. It felt like we were entering a forbidden realm, a place where the boundaries of reality were dissolving. We also discovered a hidden community living deep within the tunnels, a group of people who had been living in isolation for centuries. They were a secretive and enigmatic people, their culture and beliefs shrouded in mystery. They claimed to be descendants of the ancient civilization that had once thrived in the hollow, a civilization that had possessed a deep understanding of the supernatural and the forces that governed the universe. They also claimed to be immune to the entity's power. They were wary of outsiders, their eyes filled with a mixture of suspicion and fear. They spoke in hushed tones, their language a mixture of ancient dialects and cryptic phrases that were difficult to decipher. They seemed to be aware of the entity's existence and its growing power. They claimed to have been trying to stop the creature for centuries, but their attempts had been futile. They believed that we were destined to fail, but we needed to try. We needed to find a way to stop this creature. My team and I were divided on how to proceed. Some believed that we should try to negotiate with the hidden community, hoping to gain their assistance in stopping the entity. Others believed that the community was a threat, that they might be somehow connected to the entity's power. There were also those who believed that the tunnels were not safe and that we should evacuate the area as soon as possible. The tension was mounting. Meanwhile, Dr. Reed continued to monitor the anomalies from our base, her analysis revealing a disturbing pattern. The entity's power seemed to be growing exponentially, its influence spreading like a dark contagion through the hollow. She discovered that the entity was feeding on human emotions, particularly fear and despair, and that its power was directly proportional to the level of negative energy within the area. The entity was gaining strength and influence. We needed to act fast. Adding to the complexity of the situation was the discovery of a series of coded messages hidden within the ancient texts found in the tunnels. These messages seemed to be a form of ancient prophecy, predicting the arrival of a powerful entity that would consume the hollow and potentially spread its influence beyond the region. The messages also contained clues about a hidden artifact, a powerful object that was said to be capable of containing the entity. It was a race against time. We needed to find this artifact before it was too late, before the entity consumed everything in its path. The situation was becoming increasingly dire. We were caught in a web of ancient prophecies, hidden communities, and a growing supernatural threat. We were fighting a war that we didn't understand, against an enemy that seemed to be beyond our comprehension. We were on the brink of disaster. The tension in our base was palpable. The coded messages, the growing power of the entity, and the uncertainty surrounding the hidden community had created a sense of unease and paranoia that was difficult to ignore. We were on edge, our nerves frayed, our minds racing with 1,000 possibilities. We were running out of time. One night, as I was reviewing the coded messages, a chilling realization dawned on me. The prophecy wasn't just a prediction of the entity's arrival. It was a detailed roadmap of its actions. It described the entity's plan to consume the hollow and spread its influence beyond the region. It also described a way to defeat it, a ritual that involved the hidden artifact and the sacrifice of a human soul. It was a horrifying revelation. I rushed to Dr. Reed, my heart pounding in my chest, my voice trembling with urgency. "Evelyn, I think I understand the prophecy," I said, my words barely audible. "It's not just a prediction. It's a guide, a roadmap to the entity's plan." Dr. Reed's eyes widened with alarm. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice filled with concern. I explained my findings, outlining the details of the prophecy and the chilling implications of what I had uncovered. "The entity is using fear and despair to fuel its power," I explained. "It's feeding on our emotions and it's getting stronger. The prophecy says that it wants to spread its influence beyond the hollow. It wants to conquer the world. It also says that we can stop it, but only if we destroy the artifact and sacrifice a human soul." Dr. Reed was stunned. "Sacrifice a human soul?" she asked, her voice laced with horror. "That's barbaric. We can't do that." "But what choice do we have, Evelyn?" I asked, my voice filled with desperation. "If we don't stop it, it will consume everything. It's a terrible price to pay, but it might be the only way to save the world. The prophecy also says that if we do not defeat the entity before the harvest moon, it will gain unstoppable power." Dr. Reed was conflicted, torn between her ethical principles and the desperate need to protect humanity. She knew that the entity posed an existential threat, but the idea of sacrificing a human life was abhorrent to her. She looked at me, her eyes filled with pain and uncertainty. She knew that the fate of the world rested on our shoulders. She knew that she had to make a choice. Just then, one of my operatives burst into the room, his face pale with terror. "We've lost contact with the team exploring the tunnels," he said, his voice shaking. "And we found something horrifying down there." "What is it?" I asked, my heart pounding in my chest. "It's Michael," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. He's been corrupted. He's become one of them." A wave of horror washed over me. Michael, my friend, my colleague, had been consumed by the entity. It was a chilling reminder of the entity's power and the desperate situation we were in. The entity was winning. The entity was going to win. We have to act now, Dr. Reed said, her voice firm and resolute. We can't let it get any stronger. We have to stop it. We need to find the artifact. We need to complete the ritual. We need to protect our world. The choice had been made. The fate of the world rested on our shoulders. The time for hesitation was over. The time to act was now. We were going to face the entity, and we were going to do whatever it took to stop it. The news of Michael's corruption sent a wave of shock and fear through our team. It was a stark reminder of the entity's power and the desperate situation we were in. Michael was a good man. He was one of the good guys, and to see him become corrupted was a terrifying sight. It was a chilling reminder that anyone could be a victim. Dr. Reed immediately ordered a lockdown of the base. We were on high alert, our nerves frayed, our senses heightened. The entity's influence seemed to be spreading, its tendrils reaching out to touch everything and everyone. The atmosphere was thick with dread. We were running out of time. I couldn't shake the image of Michael's corrupted form from my mind. It was a haunting reminder of the dangers we faced, the horrors we were up against. It fueled my determination to stop the entity, to protect the innocent, to prevent anyone else from suffering the same fate. The fate of the world was in my hands. We huddled together, our faces grim, our eyes filled with a mixture of fear and determination. We were a team, a group of individuals bound together by a shared purpose, a shared sense of responsibility. We knew that we were facing a monumental challenge, a battle that could determine the fate of humanity. We had to be strong. We had to be brave. We had to do this. Dr. Reed began to formulate a plan. We need to find the artifact, she said, her voice firm and resolute. It's our only hope of stopping the entity, and we need to be prepared for the ritual. It's going to be a dangerous undertaking, but we have no other choice. We need to find a way to weaken the entity before we attempt the ritual. She briefed us on the details of the ritual, outlining the specific steps that we needed to take. It's a complex and dangerous process, she explained. It requires a specific sequence of actions and the use of a rare and powerful substance that we believe is hidden within the tunnels. We need to find a way to get into the tunnels without being detected, and we need to be prepared for anything. The entity will not make it easy for us. We were tasked with identifying the location of the artifact and gathering the necessary materials for the ritual. It was a dangerous mission, but we were determined to succeed. We had to save our world. The weight of responsibility pressed down on me. I knew that the fate of the world rested on our shoulders. I knew that we were facing an impossible challenge, but I also knew that we had to try. We had to fight. We had to win. The weight of responsibility pressed down on me, a crushing burden that threatened to overwhelm me. The fate of the world rested on my shoulders, and I was acutely aware of the immense challenge ahead. I knew that I was not invincible, that I could fail, that I could lose everything. But I also knew that I couldn't give up. I had to find a way to overcome my fears and doubts, to channel my anxieties into a focused determination to succeed. I sought solace in the familiar routines of my profession, the methodical preparation for the mission ahead. I reviewed the intelligence we had gathered, studied the ancient texts, and familiarized myself with the details of the ritual. I immersed myself in my work, hoping to find some sense of control in a situation that felt increasingly chaotic and uncertain. I had to find a way to focus my energy and channel my anxieties into a clear and determined path forward. I also spent time reflecting on Michael's fate, his transformation into a creature of darkness. It was a chilling reminder of the entity's power and the desperate situation we were in, but it also fueled my resolve. I couldn't allow Michael's sacrifice to be in vain. I had to honor his memory by defeating the entity and preventing others from suffering the same fate. I could not let Michael's sacrifice be meaningless. I owed it to him, to the world, to myself, to continue. I spent hours in the training facility, honing my skills, pushing my body and mind to their limits. I practiced hand-to-hand combat, sharpened my marksmanship, and reviewed the intricacies of the specialized weaponry at my disposal. I sought to bolster my physical and mental fortitude, to prepare myself for the dangers that lay ahead. I had to be prepared for anything, and I had to push my physical and mental limits to ensure that I was ready for any challenge. I also started to question my own beliefs, my own understanding of the world. The entity's existence, its ability to manipulate and corrupt, had shattered my preconceived notions of reality. I had always believed in logic and reason, in the scientific method, but the entity challenged everything I thought I knew. I had to confront my own biases and preconceptions, to open my mind to the possibility of a world that was far more complex and mysterious than I had ever imagined. I had to find a way to adapt, to evolve, to become something more than I was before. I had to open my mind and adapt if I wanted to defeat the creature. As I prepared for the mission, I began to develop a new perspective on my role within the Veil. I had always viewed myself as a soldier, a warrior fighting against darkness. But I realized that my true strength lay in my ability to adapt, to learn, to evolve. I was not just a soldier. I was a guardian, a protector, a beacon of hope in a world that was increasingly shrouded in darkness. I had to find a way to lead my team, to inspire them, to give them hope. I had to find a way to be the hero of this story. I was no longer just a ghost in the machine. I was becoming a force for good, a champion of humanity, a symbol of hope in a world that desperately needed it. The time for preparation was nearing its end. The harvest moon was just a few days away, and we knew that we had to act quickly. The entity's power was growing, its influence spreading, and we were running out of time. We had to find the artifact and prepare for the ritual. We had to be ready to face the entity and defeat it, or the world would be lost forever. I gathered my team, my voice filled with determination and resolve. "We're ready," I said, my eyes meeting each of their gazes. "We've trained, we've planned, and we've prepared. Now, it's time to execute our plan. We need to find the artifact, and we need to be ready to perform the ritual." Dr. Reed presented us with the final details of the plan. "We'll infiltrate the tunnels," she said, her voice low and measured. "We'll search for the artifact, and we'll gather the necessary materials for the ritual. We'll be facing a formidable foe, and we need to be prepared for anything. We need to be ready for the unexpected." We equipped ourselves with the latest technology and weaponry, ensuring that we were prepared for any contingency. We had to be ready for anything. As we prepared to enter the tunnels, I felt a surge of anxiety coursing through me. The darkness of the tunnels, the hidden community, the corrupted Michael, it all came rushing back to me. But I pushed those fears aside, focusing on my mission, on my responsibility to protect humanity. I had come too far to give up now. We entered the tunnels, the air thick with a musty odor and a chilling dampness. The walls were adorned with strange symbols and markings, remnants of a forgotten civilization. The atmosphere was heavy, oppressive, and filled with a sense of dread. The air was cold and heavy, and it was as if the tunnels were breathing. We navigated the labyrinthine tunnels, our senses on high alert. The tunnels were filled with a sense of mystery, a sense of something ancient and powerful. It was as if the tunnels were alive and aware of our presence. We encountered members of the hidden community, their faces etched with suspicion and fear. We tried to communicate with them, to gain their trust and enlist their help, but they were hesitant, reluctant to engage with us. They seemed to sense our intentions, and they did not trust us. As we delved deeper into the tunnels, we began to hear strange noises, a symphony of whispers and growls that seemed to emanate from the depths of the earth. The entity's presence was growing stronger, its influence spreading through the tunnels. We were getting closer. We were getting closer to the entity. We were getting closer to the artifact. We finally reached the chamber where the artifact was hidden, a vast cavern filled with an eerie light. The air crackled with energy, and the walls pulsated with an otherworldly power. In the center of the chamber, on a pedestal of black obsidian, rested the artifact, a shimmering sphere of pure energy that seemed to hum with a life of its own. It was magnificent, and it was terrifying. As we delved deeper into the tunnels, the air grew heavy with a palpable sense of dread. Whispers echoed through the darkness. growing louder and more insistent with each step we took. The walls seemed to close in around us, the ancient symbols and markings taking on a sinister, almost menacing appearance. We were nearing the heart of the hollow, and the entity's presence was growing stronger. Suddenly, the ground beneath us began to tremble, the tunnels groaning under an unseen pressure. The air grew cold, and a wave of icy dread washed over us. We knew that we were close. We rounded a corner and came face to face with a horrifying sight. Michael stood before us, his form twisted and corrupted, his eyes burning with an unnatural light. He was no longer the friend and colleague we knew. He was a creature of darkness, a pawn of the entity. He lunged at us, his movements swift and deadly. We fired our weapons, but the bullets seemed to pass right through him, as if he were a ghost. He was impervious to our attacks. "You cannot stop it," he hissed, his voice a chilling rasp. "It will consume everything. Join us, and you will be spared." We fought back, our determination fueled by fear and a desperate need to survive. We used our training, our skills, our technology, but Michael was too powerful. He moved with unnatural speed and agility, his attacks precise and deadly. One by one, my team members fell, their bodies succumbing to his otherworldly strength. I was the last one standing, my heart pounding in my chest, my body trembling with fear and exhaustion. I knew that I was outmatched, that I was facing an impossible challenge. But I also knew that I couldn't give up. I had to find a way to defeat him, to stop the entity. I had to protect the world. Just then, I saw it. The artifact, hidden behind a hidden passage. It was a pulsating orb of dark energy, emitting a chilling hum that resonated through the tunnels. It was the source of the entity's power. I had found it. I knew that I had to reach the artifact, to use it to stop the entity. But I also knew that it was a dangerous undertaking. The ritual, the prophecy, it all came rushing back to me. I had to sacrifice a human soul. My gaze fell upon Michael, his corrupted form looming before me. I knew what I had to do. I charged towards him, my heart pounding in my chest, my determination fueled by a desperate need to survive. I fired my weapon, but the bullets passed right through him. He lunged at me, his claws outstretched. In a desperate move, I dodged his attack and, with all my strength, slammed the artifact against his chest. It was a desperate gamble, a Hail Mary pass. The orb of dark energy pulsed with a blinding light, and a wave of searing energy erupted from it. Michael screamed in agony, his corrupted form convulsing violently. The entity's power surged through the tunnels, shaking the very foundations of the hollow. The tunnels began to collapse, the walls crumbling around us. Rocks and debris rained down from above, filling the air with a deafening roar. I knew that we had to escape, that we had to get out of there before it was too late. I grabbed the artifact and ran, stumbling through the collapsing tunnels, my lungs burning, my body aching. I had to get out. I had to survive. I grabbed the unconscious body of DR, Reed, and sprinted towards the tunnel exit as the tunnels began to crumble around us. Debris rained down. The ground shook violently, and the air filled with dust and the scent of ozone. It was a chaotic and terrifying scene, but I was determined to escape. I had to get out of there. I stumbled out of the tunnels into the night, my body bruised and battered, my mind reeling from the ordeal. I looked back and saw the entrance collapse, sealing the tunnels forever. The entity was contained, its power extinguished. The world was safe. I rushed Dr. Reed to safety, where the remaining members of our team were waiting. We had survived. We had defeated the entity. We had saved the world. We spent the next few days recovering from our ordeal, tending to our wounds and processing the events that had transpired. The loss of my team members weighed heavily on my mind, a constant reminder of the sacrifices we had made. Michael's transformation into a creature of darkness would forever haunt me. We eventually returned to our base, where Dr. Reed and I briefed the Veil on our findings and the details of the ritual. We were hailed as heroes, our actions praised as a testament to the dedication and bravery of the Veil. But the victory was bittersweet. We had saved the world, but we had paid a heavy price. The world remained a dangerous place, but I knew that I had done what I had to do. I had faced my fears. I had confronted darkness, and I had emerged victorious. I had grown stronger, wiser, and more determined. I returned to my life within the Veil, a ghost in the machine, a silent guardian of the realm. The Hollow remained a chilling reminder of the horrors I had faced, but it also served as a testament to my resilience and determination. I was forever changed, scarred by the ordeal, but also stronger and more aware of the fragility of existence. I had saved the world, but I would never be the same. The events in the Hollow would forever be etched into my memory, a constant reminder of the sacrifices I had made, the horrors I had witnessed, and the battles I had fought. I would continue my work within the Veil, forever vigilant, forever ready to defend the boundaries of reality against the forces that lurk in the shadows. The world needed guardians, and I would always be one of them. Years passed. The world moved on, oblivious to the battles fought in the shadows. But I remained vigilant, a silent sentinel guarding the boundaries of reality. The Hollow was a scar on my soul, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurks beneath the surface of the world. Yet, it was also a testament to my strength, my resilience, my unwavering commitment to protect the innocent. The fight was never truly over. The darkness always lurks, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. But I was ready. I was always ready. I was Ethan Carter, and I would never stop fighting for the safety of humanity. The world is full of hidden dangers, lurking beneath the surface of everyday life. There are forces at play that we don't understand, entities that exist beyond our comprehension. But there are also those who stand ready to protect us, to defend the boundaries of reality. Be aware of the shadows, but never lose hope. Share your thoughts on this story in the comments below. What did you think of the ending? What would you have done differently? And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more thrilling stories like this one. Hit that notification bell and be prepared to face your worst nightmares. Click the link below to discover even more incredible content that's guaranteed to keep you on the edge of your seat.